Today, millions of people flood into major cities in search of a better life, only to face suffocating overcrowding. Homes are packed unbelievably tight, streets surge with non-stop flows of people and vehicles, and living space is slowly crushed beneath towering skyscrapers. Noise, smog, and constant traffic leave cities with barely any room to breathe. But that's not all. In some places, survival is a fight for every single square foot. Streets offer no escape, and daily life feels like a vast concrete maze with no way out. These are the 40 most overcrowded places on Earth, where we reveal what urban hell on our planet truly looks like. When mentioning Hong Kong, one cannot help but think of its towering skyscrapers creating a bustling and modern urban landscape. But few know that behind this glitz and glamour lies the arduous lives of millions. With an area of only about 425 square miles, but a population of over 7.5 million, Hong Kong is one of the most densely populated places in the world. Due to limited land, since the mid-20th century, the city has seen a boom in high-rise buildings to maximize space. Today, Hong Kong has over 7,800 skyscrapers, the highest number in the world, even more than New York. Sadly, not everyone has a spacious place to live. The poor are forced to live crammed into cramped cage homes, barely a few square meters in size and resembling nothing more than an iron cage. Some apartments are so small that each person has just enough space to sleep. Life here is bustling, but it also holds many hardships for the poor laborers. We are all too familiar with the name New York, the city that never sleeps, where skyscrapers rise against a vast sky, creating a veritable concrete jungle. It's famous for its brightly lit avenues, bustling neighborhoods, and its status as a leading global financial center. But behind this glamorous facade, New York also has hidden corners that not everyone knows about. In such a crowded city, finding a place to live isn't easy. Rent is exorbitant, forcing many to live in cramped apartments or even sleep on the streets. The air is sometimes polluted by car fumes, the streets are constantly noisy with car horns and people talking, and there are even areas where rats roam freely. But despite its many downsides, New York remains one of the most captivating cities on the planet. The vibrant atmosphere, the fast-paced lifestyle, and the unlimited opportunities for growth have made this place a dream for millions of people around the world. Dubai is famous for its opulent architecture, but it also has areas that can be confusing, such as the Al Sheba 3 residential area. Seen from above, it resembles a giant labyrinth with hundreds of identical villas neatly arranged in rows stretching to the horizon. The design makes navigating incredibly difficult. Without GPS, it's easy to get lost in your own neighborhood. While it's a quiet area, the repetitive and monotonous feel can be suffocating for many. The interiors of the villas are quite comfortable, but those hoping for spacious gardens will likely be disappointed. When talking about densely populated cities, it's impossible not to mention Tokyo. Currently, over 14 million people live and work in incredibly cramped spaces with a density of up to 16,000 people per square mile. Therefore, houses are built very close together, and the streets are always bustling with people. This crowdedness puts pressure on many people, as finding a private space in Tokyo is not easy. However, many Japanese people see this as a part of life. They enjoy the vibrancy, the hustle and bustle, the bright neon lights, and the fast-paced, never-sleeping rhythm of the city. That's why, despite being crowded and expensive, Tokyo remains one of the most livable cities in the world. Imagine a neighborhood where all the houses are exactly alike, from color and shape to even the layout of the gardens. That's a familiar sight in many residential areas in Texas, USA. Single-story houses built of red brick, lined up in straight rows stretching to the horizon, surprising anyone seeing them for the first time. This urban planning style isn't unique to Texas. It's common in other cities like Las Vegas, Phoenix, and the suburbs of California. Its purpose is to provide affordable housing for residents, especially young families or those with average incomes. While many consider these neighborhoods monotonous and lacking character, those who live there appreciate the tranquility, safety, and low cost of living. Therefore, despite their seemingly boring appearance, these neighborhoods continue to expand, becoming a top choice for millions of Americans. These two photos show a striking contrast: New Delhi during lockdown and now. When the pandemic broke out, traffic and industrial activity came to a halt, and the skies over New Delhi were unusually clear. But when life returned to normal, pollution once again engulfed the city as if it had never disappeared. New Delhi has long been considered one of the most polluted cities in the world. In 2019, 21 out of the 30 most polluted cities in the world were located in India. The average PM 2.5 level reached 110.2, more than 9 times the safe level recommended by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. In November 2019, some areas in New Delhi recorded an air quality index, AQI, exceeding 800, more than 3 times the dangerous level. One of the main causes is the burning of crop residue in October each year. Smoke and dust from these activities, combined with winds from Himalayas, create a thick layer of polluted air that blankets the entire city. Residents breathe this air filled with smoke, dust, and toxins every day. Yet solutions to this problem remain scarce. Looking at these figures, it's hard to believe that millions of people are still living and working in such alarmingly polluted air. Air pollution not only affects human health, but also impacts life expectancy and quality of life, becoming a serious problem not only for New Delhi, but for many major cities around the world. Brazil is a vast and rapidly developing country, yet the gap between rich and poor is strikingly wide. Looking at a photograph taken in Sao Paulo, it's hard to believe that luxurious skyscrapers and slums can coexist side by side. On one side are opulent, well-equipped apartments, on the other are cramped shacks nestled on a hillside, two completely different worlds within the same city. Sao Paulo's development has been incredibly rapid, but its infrastructure hasn't kept pace. Roads are congested, traffic is chaotic, and pollution is increasingly severe. But that's not the worst part. In slums like Rocinha in Rio de Janeiro, life is far harsher. Houses are crammed together, streets are narrow, and living conditions are extremely poor. Many households lack access to clean water and proper sanitation facilities. The tangled electrical wires and messy water pipes are both unsightly and pose numerous dangers. Despite the overwhelming difficulties, the people here remain resilient. They work tirelessly to support their families and to have a chance to escape poverty. Many believe that no matter where they live, with enough effort, they can still build a better life. On the outskirts of St. Petersburg, Russia, stands a massive apartment building with a rather unusual name, Human Hill. While the name sounds gloomy, it's actually one of the most densely populated apartment complexes in the world. Completed in 2015, the 25-story building boasts 3,780 apartments and 35 entrances. The number of residents alone exceeds 18,000, making it as crowded as a small town. Inside, you'll find a miniature world with all sorts of amenities: shops, a post office, cafes, beauty salons, and even a private kindergarten. Many choose to live here because of the affordable rent, convenience, and especially the sense of community. Even in a huge apartment complex, everyone can find a familiar corner of their own. However, not everyone enjoys this crowded environment. Many liken it to a giant beehive, where life can sometimes feel too cramped. But for those who are used to it, they consider it a comfortable place. and feel like part of a big family. Looking at this neighborhood, many might think it's some corner of Russia, but in reality, it's located on the outskirts of Paris. The buildings here are built in a unique architectural style, densely packed and stacked on top of each other, resembling the blocks in the Tetris game. Many choose to live here because the rent is much cheaper than in central Paris. However, the living space is far from quiet. The buildings are situated right next to the railway and busy boulevards, forcing residents to get used to the constant noise from trains and traffic. Rent ranges from 800 euros per month, but not everyone can afford it. Despite the inconvenience, these housing complexes demonstrate how people utilize every square meter of land in an expensive city like Paris. With the ever-increasing demand for housing, people are willing to live in cramped and noisy spaces, as long as they can be closer to the city center. Lagos is one of the world's most populous cities, home to over 17 million people. Not only is it densely populated, but it's also one of the fastest-growing cities, with its population continuing to increase dramatically each year. However, this growth comes with numerous pressing problems. There are many densely populated slums, a lack of electricity, clean water, and basic sanitation. The streets are constantly congested with traffic, and clean water remains a luxury for many. The city's rapid development has led to urban expansion encroaching on the natural environment and destroying valuable green spaces. Although the government has implemented measures to improve the situation, with the current rate of population growth, Lagos still faces countless challenges in the future. Belgrade, the capital of Serbia, is one of the oldest cities in Europe with a history spanning over 7,000 years. But in the heart of this city lies a unique work of art depicting buildings that resemble trees being eaten away. The message behind this painting is a warning about rapid urbanization causing nature to gradually disappear. In the new Belgrade area, you'll find gray buildings bearing the distinct mark of the socialist era stretching along many streets. The monotonous, cold architecture makes the space feel somewhat dull and lifeless. Belgrade isn't unique. Many cities in the Balkans and Eastern Europe share a similar architectural style with identical high-rise apartment buildings. However, it is precisely this nostalgia and quiet atmosphere that gives Eastern European cities their very own distinctive character. You may not know this, but Cairo, the capital of Egypt, is one of the most densely populated cities in the world. It's packed with buildings, and the streets are constantly congested with people and vehicles. Just looking at the central areas, such as the city's busiest square, reveals an overwhelming sense of crowdedness. The buildings are stacked one after another, the dominant color being a dry, sandy brown, with very little greenery, creating an incredibly monotonous landscape. Due to overpopulation, many people cannot live in the city center and have to move further away to find more comfortable spaces. Therefore, the government has built a new area called New Cairo, hoping to alleviate pressure on the old city. Although Cairo boasts a history spanning thousands of years, modern life here presents many challenges. Traffic jams, cramped spaces, and a hectic pace of life make it more suffocating than ever. Naples is a famous city in Italy, but few would have guessed that it has a surprising feature. Highways built right over residential areas. Imagine people living under the constant roar of traffic from early morning until late at night. Not only that, these towering roads block out the sunlight, making the houses below constantly dark and cramped. Many locals have expressed their disappointment, saying that these constructions detract from the city's inherent beauty. Indeed, from some hotels in the city center, the scene that unfolds is nothing short of a deserted urban area. Old, moss-covered buildings interspersed with walls covered in spray-painted graffiti. At first glance, It might seem as if the area has been abandoned after some disaster. And that is a sad contrast between the splendor of ancient Italy and the scars of uncontrolled development. Petar is a large residential area in Caracas where hundreds of thousands of people are crammed into tiny red brick houses. The streets are not only narrow but also steep, making travel extremely difficult. There is no clean water system, no reliable electricity, and no waste disposal system. Many families are forced to steal electricity from streetlights. Garbage is dumped indiscriminately, accumulating in large piles over time, emitting foul odors and attracting all kinds of insects and rodents. Life here is not only difficult due to the lack of amenities, but also because of the high crime rate, especially at night, leaving many residents living in constant anxiety and insecurity. But amidst these hardships, the people of Petar remain resilient. They work together to clean up garbage, paint murals, and create art to beautify their neighborhood, kindling hope for a better life. In China, there's a small city that resembles the glamorous Paris. From its streets and buildings to even the Eiffel Tower, everything is built in the French style, giving anyone who sets foot here the feeling of being transported to a corner of Europe. This project began in 2007 with the desire to bring European architecture closer to the Chinese people. Unfortunately, initially very few people came to live there, making it a ghost town. In 2013, the population was only 2,000, and the vast city was eerily quiet. It wasn't until 2017 that the population increased to 30,000, making the city gradually more vibrant. While still much quieter than other cities in China, it no longer has the desolate appearance it once did. Chongqing is China's most populous city, with a population of 23 million. But what makes it special isn't the number itself, but its unique urban planning. Imagine a gas station built on the rooftop of a building, a subway line running through a residential area, or high-rise restaurants floating on the river. Chongqing is called the 5D city because determining which floor you're on is truly challenging. At night, the subway lights illuminate the buildings, disrupting their peaceful atmosphere. The winding streets create a suffocating feeling, with houses stacked upon each other like an inescapable labyrinth. Even the bridges are different. The Kamba Bridge, one of the city's most important transportation infrastructures, boasts 6 lanes and 2 railway lines. Perhaps just a stroll around Chongqing will make anyone feel like they've stepped into a completely different world. In the frigid landscape of Siberia lies a colossal pit that resembles a gateway to the earth. This is the Mir Mine, one of the world's largest open-pit diamond mines. The pit is 1,700 feet deep, 0.7 miles wide, and large enough to swallow an entire skyscraper. The town of Mirny is built around the mine to serve the diamond industry. For its inhabitants, diamonds are not just glittering gemstones, but their sole source of livelihood. However, life here is not easy. In winter, temperatures can drop below -40 degrees Fahrenheit, the biting cold making all activities unbearable. Despite its challenges, Mirny remains one of Russia's most important diamond mining centers. During its heyday, the Mir mine once produced up to 10 million carats of diamonds annually, contributing to the Soviet Union's status as one of the world's largest diamond mining powers. Today, although the mine is no longer operational, it remains a magnificent monument, a testament to the golden age of the Russian diamond industry. When you think of skyscrapers, you imagine towering structures reaching for the clouds. However, in Moscow, Russia, there's a skyscraper that's horizontal. This building is 2,400 feet long, equivalent to 7 football fields lined up side by side. It's one of the longest buildings in the world, designed to maximize space in the heart of a bustling city. Inside are numerous offices, shopping centers, and stores. From the outside, it looks like a giant ship lying still in the middle of the city. but this very long and narrow shape makes the interior feel cramped and stuffy, like an endless labyrinth. Many people entering for the first time often feel a chill, or even confusion, not knowing where they are. Hyderabad is one of India's most developed cities, home to millions of people. However, this bustling city also comes with significant problems. The air is so polluted that it's often difficult to breathe, especially on hot days. The streets are congested with traffic, horns blaring constantly, and traffic jams are a constant threat. During the monsoon season, the situation worsens as the city frequently floods due to an inadequate drainage system. Floodwaters inundate homes, wash away roads, damage houses, and affect the livelihoods of thousands. Furthermore, the rapid pace of urbanization has led to the disappearance of many lakes and parks, replaced by towering skyscrapers. Despite this, the government and people of Hyderabad are still seeking ways to improve their lives, hoping to build a greener and cleaner city in the future. When we think of hotels, we imagine spacious, luxurious buildings with beautiful architecture. However, in Thailand, there's a hotel with a truly unique design. Windows, walls, and balconies are pressed tightly together, creating a cluttered facade as if all the rooms were crammed together in a bizarre way. From a distance, the hotel looks like a block of squares, lacking any clear focal points. Because of this, some people feel dizzy or disoriented when looking at it. However, when viewed from a different angle, the structure possesses a unique beauty like a work of modern architectural art. Despite its unusual design, this hotel is still rated 5 stars, attracting many curious tourists who come to experience it. This shows that sometimes the strange is what makes it so appealing. Don't you agree? In the Russian city of Samara, there's a housing complex called Tough Springs. When it was first built, it was marketed as a luxury apartment complex with all the amenities. However, the reality is quite the opposite. Residents call it Luxury Samara, a sarcastic way of describing the poor quality of the building. Samara isn't unique. St. Petersburg has a similar complex called Northern Valley. From the outside, the high-rise buildings look modern, but inside are cramped, dilapidated apartments. Residents complain about poor heating, leaky pipes, and even unsafe living conditions. These complexes illustrate a sad reality. Living in a high-rise apartment building doesn't automatically guarantee a good quality of life. What's most important is the amenities, services, and attention to residents' well-being. Viewed from above, many cities in China today resemble giant labyrinths of concrete and steel. One such example is San City, home to over 250,000 people. Identical apartment buildings line up in long rows, making it easy for first-time visitors to get lost in a densely packed forest of houses. This type of urban planning maximizes land use, but it also gives many Chinese cities a monotonous, unmemorable appearance. However, this is a typical image of modern urban life in the world's most populous country. Do you think you could live in a place like this? Let us know in the comments. A traffic jam lasting a few hours is enough to frustrate anyone, but in China, back in 2010, there was a traffic jam that stretched on for 12 full days, covering a distance of more than 62 miles. Have you heard about it? The incident happened on a major highway near Beijing, where thousands of cars and trucks were almost completely frozen in place within an ocean of vehicles. Road construction, combined with an overwhelming volume of traffic, caused the congestion to grow worse by the day. Each day, vehicles crawled forward just a few feet at a time. Local residents quickly saw an opportunity, bringing food and water to sell to stranded drivers. But with supplies scarce, prices soared to 5 to 10 times their normal cost. Anyone desperate for drinking water or a small meal had to pay a steep price just to get by. However, this wasn't the longest traffic jam in history. That record belongs to France, where in 1980, a massive gridlock stretched for over 109 miles as thousands of people traveled simultaneously to ski resorts. In the United States, widespread traffic jams are almost guaranteed during Thanksgiving. In Los Angeles alone, highways often turn into giant parking lots, leaving millions of drivers exhausted as they wait for hours. Some say that adding just one more lane might solve the problem. But is it really that simple? What do you think? Join the discussion with 9M Discovery. Located near Shenyang, China, this area was once planned as a high-end villa complex for the elite. The massive villas were built with luxurious designs, but ironically, no one moved in. After more than a decade, the once magnificent urban area has become a ghost town. The abandoned villas, neglected and now severely dilapidated, are covered in moss and have broken windows. But it's not entirely abandoned. Seeing the land wasted, some farmers have come here to cultivate crops. They utilize the empty spaces around the villas to sow seeds and grow vegetables, transforming the area into lush green gardens. The image of luxurious villas being overrun by nature is a clear illustration of the rule: when people leave, nature returns. This is not an uncommon occurrence, where many urban areas are built extensively and then abandoned for various reasons, allowing nature to gradually reclaim what rightfully belongs to it. South Africa is one of the countries with the greatest wealth inequality in the world. Standing at a single point, one can see two completely contrasting worlds. On one side, skyscrapers, luxurious shopping malls, swimming pools, and modern libraries. On the other, impoverished slums where people are crammed into cramped, basic necessities. Meanwhile, between these two areas lies a cemetery. A stark irony, a reminder that rich or poor, everyone ultimately shares the same destination. In Johannesburg, this divide is even more pronounced. Those with high incomes almost exclusively live in areas protected by electric fences and strict security systems. It's not uncommon to see luxurious villas surrounded by barbed wire, a way of completely isolating them from the outside world. The contrast is heartbreaking. On one side, there's a life of comfort and luxury, while just a few steps away, countless people still struggle daily with poverty. Mumbai, one of India's largest cities, is also a prime example of the stark wealth gap. A single aerial photograph reveals opulent skyscrapers jutting out alongside cramped, dilapidated slums. The poor here eke out a living through various occupations, but the most common is working in garment factories. They toil away, sewing and manufacturing imitation fashion items, mimicking luxury Italian and French brands. These garments may sell for thousands of dollars in international fashion boutiques, but the people who create them receive meager wages. Because of their difficult lives, they accept any job to earn a living. However, these slums are gradually being cleared to make way for more modern residential areas. But for millions of poor people in Mumbai, finding better housing remains a difficult task. Life here is still full of hardships, but at least amidst the cramped buildings, one can still find a glimmer of nature, the green trees and the small river winding through the heart of the city. So, we've explored some of the world's most crowded places, where people struggle for every square meter to survive, where streets are packed with people and vehicles, and where cities never sleep. Through this, we see that urban life, while offering many opportunities, also comes with countless challenges. Living space is shrinking, the pressure to make a living is increasing, and people must find ways to adapt to the hectic pace of life. But amidst these difficulties, there are still stories of resilience, of people who constantly strive to rise above their circumstances and seek a better life. If you found this video interesting and want to continue exploring the world with us, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any upcoming exciting content. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next videos.